We spend way too much time looking at screens. The average person spends about 7 hours a day on a screen. And over a lifetime, that ends up being more than 20 years gone to scrolling, watching, tapping, and typing. That's 20 years that we will never get back. It's no wonder so many of us feel so disconnected from ourselves and from everything else around us. We've never had access to more information, connections, and opportunities, and yet so many of us have never felt so lost, anxious, and lonely. So unless you decide to throw away all of your electronics, build a hut in the woods, and live a desolate, quiet existence away from everyone else, technology is here to stay. So instead of rejecting it and demonizing it, we should learn to live with it. See, I've spent the last few years of my life being very intentional about how much time I spend on screens. And that shift in awareness changed everything. I became less anxious. I stopped caring about what people online thought of me. I started sleeping better. I started spending more time outside, and I became much more productive, and I became a lot more sociable. Now, I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy a flip phone, sell your PlayStation, or even delete social media. You don't have to do any of those things. You don't have to go that far to make a difference. Instead, I'm going to give you 5 very easy tips that you can implement right now that will get you back hours of your day that would have been lost to mindless scrolling. Number 1, use grayscale mode. Something about this just makes every device instantly more boring for me, which is a good thing. I don't know the science behind it, but just visually, from what I can tell, it literally removes the color cues that apps use to hook you. If you see a very colorful app on your phone or on your computer, Instagram, that bright color, YouTube, the bright color, Snapchat, the bright yellow, all these social media apps, all these time wasters, they all have these bright colors that really reel you in. It looks like a piece of candy almost. If you turn your phone black and white, in my mind, it makes things look a little bit less enticing. Everything's just the same color. It's all a bland kind of gray type thing. It makes it a little less addicting to be on. Social media and games feel a little less rewarding in black and white mode. I don't always have it on black and white, but when I do, I find that I check my phone a lot less. Number 2, set no phone zones. It's a good habit to designate some spaces inside of your home to be tech-free, where you can't use devices. So for example, what's the area that you spend the most time on your phone or on devices? Probably your bed. And using your phone, especially in your bed, is really bad because the blue light that emanates from your phone disrupts your sleep cycle, and it makes it harder for you to go to sleep. And on top of just going to sleep, when you wake up in the morning, if the first thing you do is you grab your phone, that is not a good way to start your morning. It sets a reactive tone where you're in the habit where you wake up, check your phone, wake up, check your phone, wake up, check your phone. What's the first thing you do in your morning? Most people, they check their phone. I would highly recommend that instead of keeping your phone by your bed at night, have a designated spot, maybe across the room, maybe outside of the room if you can. Just keep your phone completely away from you. Put it on the charger away from you. When you're laying in bed at night and you can't fall asleep, try to read a book or something, or just sit in silence until you fall asleep. I promise it's not that bad. Another spot that you can make into a no phone zone is your dining table, or just really any time that you're eating. It doesn't have to be a specific area, but it can just be when you're eating. How many of you are watching this while eating right now? Maybe you can make a new habit to not consume anything while you're eating. This is a good habit whether you're alone or you're with people. When you're alone, you can focus on your presence and awareness. During your meals, you can just you can really enjoy it, be in a more meditative state, And then even when you're with people, you can be just more present with them. For me, when I'm eating with somebody, the most annoying thing ever is when they're just sitting on their phone. That just drives me crazy, and I think it's super disrespectful. So don't be that person that's on your phone while you're with your friends. And the last place is probably the bathroom. You need to break This is probably one of the best ways to break the bad habit of endless scrolling in downtime, because when you're in the bathroom and you don't have your phone, there's nothing to do. You're just there to do your business, and then you just leave, It helps. I think that it's a good way to just help rewire your brain just to be bored. You just don't bring your phone into the bathroom with you. and just do what you got to do and just leave. Some people don't need to be told this, other people need to be told. And if you think about it, it's also kind of gross to bring your phone into the bathroom with you when you really think about it. I don't think that you don't have to do all of these things, but I think at least having one of these things, setting one of these limits on yourself is a really good way to build momentum. When we're trying to break unproductive habits like doom scrolling, it's important that we don't just stop doing it. We should also replace it with a productive habit, which gives me the perfect opportunity to mention this video's sponsor, Brilliant.org. Brilliant is an amazing learning platform that I've been using to sharpen my skills in all kinds of areas, from math to computer science to logical reasoning. What's different about Brilliant is that it helps to build critical thinking skills through problem solving as opposed to memorization, which is one of the core ways to study effectively as a student. This way you're building real-world skills on the topic while also becoming a sharper thinker. Each one of Brilliant's lessons gives you hands-on problems to solve that are proven to be 6 times more effective than just learning about the topic. With Brilliant, you can learn from scratch, and it has a perfect mix of daily encouragement and leaderboards to keep you motivated to learn. The lessons on Brilliant are created by award-winning teachers, researchers, and other professionals from Stanford, MIT, Microsoft, Google, and more. And as a philosophy major, I've been having a lot of fun with their newest logic and reasoning courses. The logic courses help you become a sharper thinker and problem solver. You move to new levels step by step through interactive challenges that make difficult ideas like truth and lies, reasoning through different cases, and evaluating arguments easy to understand. And you'll explore how logic connects to things like puzzles, problem solving, and computer circuits. So instead of just memorizing rules, you'll actually practice using logic in real-world situations. So you're building skills that you can use every day. I think that if you're trying to spend less time scrolling, or you just want to pick up a new learning habit, Brilliant is the perfect platform to make progress without sacrificing that much of your day. The lessons are really, really quick, and they only take a few minutes to do. So to start learning for free on Brilliant, go to brilliant.org/Abraham, or scan the QR code that's on screen right here, or you can click the link in the description. Brilliant also gives my viewers 20% off an annual premium subscription, which gives you unlimited daily access to everything on Brilliant. Thank you again, Brilliant, for sponsoring this video. Tip number 3 is to just turn off all of your notifications. I want you to do me a favor and just go into your phone and just look at it. Where is my phone? The only notifications I have on my phone is messages and Life 360. That is it. Just so I can, know that people in my life are safe. Aside from that, I don't have anything else on, because you don't need it. You don't need Instagram notifications. You don't need Snapchat notifications. You don't need any of these things. If you're communicating with people through this, and that's the only way that you can communicate with these people, then it's understandable. WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever it is. But you don't need to have notifications on for like Clash of Clans or, some random social. You don't need notifications on for TikTok or YouTube. As much as I want you guys to click on my videos after, right after they come out, you don't need notifications on for YouTube. So turn off everything besides messages and like important reminders. Disable all the badges and all the banners for the social media, email, games. Just get rid of it all. Honestly, you can even just consider going completely notification free. Just do not disturb for like a day or two, just as a reset. Because you have to remember that your phone is supposed to be a tool. It's not supposed to be your boss. This thing should not be taking your attention all the time. Tip number 4 is to simply remove easy access. So something that you can do is you can just simply remove addictive apps off of your home screen. Even if you don't want to delete the app, you can just remove it from your home screen. You don't have to keep it on your home screen if you don't want. You can put it into folders, and you can just have it in like generic names. You can name it like tools or something instead of having it as social, Another part of this is a little bit extreme, but you can just log out of the apps or delete them from your phone completely, or at least for a little while if you need to. I don't really think that you need to go that far, but if it helps you, then try it. Another thing you can do is you can be one of those do not disturb dudes who always has their phone on D&D. Like just call me twice for it to go through. You can be that guy. I'm that guy, unfortunately. And I get ragged on by everyone that I know because of it, but I don't really care because I'm at peace. The idea of removing easy access is to just add friction between impulse and action. You're just making the distractions harder to reach. And the last tip that I would recommend is to use distraction-free apps. So you can actually ironically, you're using technology to help you limit technology use. but it's really useful. One app that I actually really like that I always recommend is called Stoic, and it's like a self-development type app, and this is not sponsored, by the way, but Stoic, if you want to sponsor me, let me know. It's for journaling and reflection, and there's quotes you can read and things like that, but the key feature is they have a screen time feature, so you can lock certain apps after a certain amount of time spending on it, or after a certain time of the day, you can lock it so you can't get into the apps. So that's why I think Stoic is really useful. There's other ones like Forest is another one that's supposed to help you for productivity and focus. There's also one called 1 Sec, which it adds like a pause before you open an app. You can set it on certain apps, that way you can sit there and reflect for a moment and think, hey, why am I opening this app? I don't use those two personally. I do like Stoic. Aside from that, there's also some desktop tools that I really like to use as well. One of them I like a lot is Cold Turkey. Again, none of this is sponsored, but Cold Turkey, you can use it to block specific sites and apps like completely. Like there's no way to if you set it up this way, there's no way to bypass it. You can literally like block Instagram for like 5 years, and you could just never go into it. I think you have to like literally pay money to get back into it. So it's a pretty good way if you're on browser and you spend a lot of time on your computer to block certain apps. Another one that's really good is called Unhook. I use this for YouTube. I use this to block shorts because I think shorts are super annoying sometimes. I wish that YouTube, please, can you stop putting shorts at the top of the feed every time I open YouTube? It's really annoying. But yeah, you can use it to block YouTube recommendations. You can turn off subscriptions. You could turn off notifications for it. You can do it. You can do all types of stuff with Unhooked. Another one that's very simple. Another one that's very similar is YouTube Tweaker or YT Tweaker. And all of these Cold Turkey, Unhook, Momentum, and YT Tweaker, these are all on these are all Chrome extensions. So yeah, those are just a few tips that I have. I didn't want to go super in depth with this video because I just want it to be very simple things that you can just do right now as you're watching the video to help you reduce your screen time a little bit. I don't think it's healthy to be obsessed with focusing on your screen time. I need to have this many hours of screen time a day. I need to be this productive. I don't think that's very healthy. I don't think that there's any amount of feeling bad for yourself, any amount of self-hatred that's going to get you out of a bad situation. So instead, I think it's better to try to make small changes towards becoming better. So with that said, that is all for now. Thank you so much for your time, and let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments, and feel free to share any other tips or recommendations that you have for reducing screen time.